Hi, this is John Though, aka Frags with the DNB Academy, and welcome to another sound recreation video. For this one, I brought you a cool collab between Degs and Hoax called Outlaw, and it sounds awesome. So I decided to go and do a take on this pretty interesting bass step that we got on the beginning of the phrase. So that's pretty much what we're gonna focus on this one, alright? So let me show you the original for those who don't know, alright? And the specific part is where the MIDI is at, so yeah, you can see that. Let's go.
Squad trip, we're playing games, go hit the club and start murking. No family will get left behind, so when they hear the sound of this curtains.
So that's pretty much the part we're gonna do. And we're gonna do this a bit on our style. It's not exactly the same, but it's a way of showing you that this technique can be wonderful for this sort of basses, alright? So let me show you how our sound on top of this one.
Behind, so when they hear the sound of this curtains.
So yeah, it's pretty decent. It's not exactly the same, but yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy what's coming, alright? Let's flip into Serum. So now that we got our Serum here with us, we're gonna start by choosing our first oscillator, which is gonna be an analog BD syn. It's a super effective wavetable for this specific types of sound, alright? And we're gonna turn the random phase all the way down, put the level all the way up, and also just like give it on the master a bit, because I know we're gonna need it, right? And we're gonna turn the FM from B function on as well, alright? Then we're gonna turn on an oscillator B and go to our digital and Iconez kick, super versatile and really good wavetable for these sounds. And we're gonna give this 3 voices that eventually along the way we might even like turn them into 2, maybe, I don't know, let's see. Random phase all the way down, okay? And let's design the shape, because this sound is mostly around the shape that we're gonna do with our envelope, all right, our LFO in this case. But first, we kind of need to turn on the filter. It's kind of important, right? So let's choose our oscillator A and B, even though our B it's going to be off, right? Because it's going to be an FM from B kind of technique. So that's how it's going to roll. Let's apply a band plus negative here. Let's hear how it sounds. Just the bass. It sounds really good. Nope. We need to crank this up 1 octave, this one too, and play a bit around here with our wavetable position, something like this. Bring this up a little bit. Yes, that's kind of it. So now that we got these parameters kind of on the sweet spot, we need to design the shape of our sound, which is the most important part on this one, all right? So I'm gonna go with a 1.5 bar, all right? So we need to turn the dotted option, because this way it's gonna give me more room to kind of design what I want here, all right? And I'm gonna put this into trigger mode, and we need to kind of do some ramps, you know, just like this. We can think about it and design it later, but the progress of the whole step goes something like this, all right? So we need to kind of now make this, instead of being so steep and kind of rampy, we're gonna make it a bit more wobble, you know? This last one, we kind of need to control it well. So now let's start assigning this to the parameters we want, which are the filter. So let's hear how it sounds with the filter. All right, so the vibes are coming up, all right? Let's just drive this a bit. We can even increase this. Right, sounds decent. And now let's apply the same shape to our FM. Right. We also can apply this to our band. Or this on -16, 14 on the warp, all right? The wavetable position as well. That's the part where I can, it's like up to you. I'm gonna make this bipolar so it goes back and forth. Right. Bad. Just need to kind of figure out the right spot for it, especially here on the filter too. Right, cool. So in terms of the patch itself, I feel like we're there, you know, a couple of tweaks here and there, but other than that, we're fine. So let's just flip the screen into the effects tab and see what we can do with it. All right, first things first, distortion. All right, so we're gonna apply this and send this to the drive as well, the LFO1. All right, and we can go either with tube or tape saturation for this one. I always feel like tube is always better here on Serum. It's probably the best distortion type. So we can do something like this. Even make it louder. All right, now we can apply some chorus that's going to be fundamental to bring some width. Awesome. And now a compressor, right? That's really important, this multi-band compressor that we're going to add here, because it's going to allow us to kind of bring up and bring back what we just kind of stolen from our spectrum range with the filtering, all right? So let's start bringing up the mids, the lows a little bit. Right. Just the tops as well. Okay, now it's that time where we kind of gonna go back to the patch and do some final tweaks with this processing already applied to it, all right? So since it's here, it's just a matter of like trying to get the right spot for things, you know? I could write you down like preset, but I think it's better for you to do this exercise and explore what every parameter does on the synth, all right? Let me put this polar instead. Can even put this like one octave higher. See? Makes an interesting automation. Let's just push this a little bit. Since this is not reaching the top, we might, you know, get past 50 easily. Right. Getting there. Cool, guys. So now that we kind of did this, we just need to apply a couple of effects on our processing chain, and it will eventually just improve the sound quite a bit. All right, let's get there. First things first, some isotope trash tube to kind of bring all those elements to a nicer spot. So let's just wave shape it. See, like the mids and the tops now are crunchy, healthy. It's like we need to go to a spot where we don't mess with the low end that much. Cool. So with this distortion, we kind of brought up a bit of muddiness to the mix, you see here. So we're just gonna EQ this mids out. Boost a bit of these frequencies here. It's the ones that the original kind of have in their favor, and also making sure that we don't have any low end on our stereo fields. All right, so we're gonna put this around 90. So our sub is fully mono, or at least like 98% or something. Let's also make this one dynamic. It's gonna make it way more interesting. Oh yeah. Now to wrap it up, I'm gonna place an OTT from Ableton and kind of just bring up everything that we sort of filter out and EQ'd out, all right? We don't want this on the low, on the tops. I'm gonna go back to Serum, just take these off. I'd rather boost them here. tweaks on the synth again. Just opening up the filter a bit more. A bit harder on the FM. See? And just a tip, guys, if you didn't want to get this sounding like the one on Degs, if you apply some noise to this, sounds awesome, right? You can even leave it there for texture. Because I feel like we're pretty much there when it comes to the sound. You see, this is what sound design is all about, you know, just playing around with these knobs and just figuring out what we can do to make it sound more interesting. And I feel like we're super close, all right? So let's check if this kind of matches the original or not, all right?
Quadrant, we ain't playing games, go hit the club and start murking. No family will get left behind, so when they hear the sound of this current.
Alright, I do feel like it's not the same, but it does have its similarities, alright? And I want you to take the most out of it and understand that this is another legit way of constructing these sort of like choppy bass lines. And then would be a matter of just switching a few things and you can create your own like this, alright? So I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!